set the sails, no bounds we know, through seas where wild winds blow, from sunrise gold to twilight hue, the ocean beats a rhythm true. Mandolin hums as waves collide, our hearts race fast where dreams abide, charting maps the stars have drawn, we'll cruise until the night is gone. Ocean to ocean travel, let's lose control, feel the salt, the freedom roll, dancing tides, whisper true, every mile's a world brand new. Shimmering lights paint the scene, moonlit waters a silver sheen, endless blue our path unrolled, each trip a treasure of stories untold. Ports call out with colors so grand, footsteps brush the soft warm sand, sip the breeze, taste the foam, every deck feels just like home. Ocean to ocean travel, let's lose control, feel the salt, the freedom roll, dancing tides, whisper true, every mile's a world brand new.
Well, good evening, everybody. I hope that everyone is having a fantastic day today and everything is going well with you. And yes, we are back live again. We'll try to do this more often. It's been sporadic just because of the schedules and everything. And Cindy, again, is working late. And so we are by ourselves. But we do have some special guests tonight. And our very special guests, for people that have watched us for quite some time, we were the first ones to bring in Cindy's little friend. And so we have a co-host of the original Damn It Doll is in the house tonight. So hopefully you all are having a fantastic evening. We have some other great guests. So if you all read the thumbnail, I don't know much about gambling or betting or playing slots or anything on cruise ships or anything. Cindy and I are not big gamblers. However, we do have some friends that do the slots a lot, I know, and we're going to find out if they do other things besides the slots in the casinos, but do a lot on the casinos on the ships, and they get a lot of good deals and win a lot of stuff. And so we're going to kind of talk about all that with them this evening. And so we're going to go ahead and pop them up. I see people are popping in, so welcome in. And we'll kind of get over to the chat here in a little bit. But we do want to invite the guests to come on up so we can start the show and learn all of their wisdom that they have. So first one on the docket is Mr. Mike Flock. How you doing, Michael?
What's going on, everybody?
How are you doing this evening?
Good.
Fantastic. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. And then second, we have this gentleman we just met on our last group cruise, and he is a fantastic gentleman. He has a great YouTube channel called Cruising on Comps. And so we want to bring him in because he has lots of knowledge, and that is Chris. Welcome in, Chris.
Hey, everybody. How's
Glad
everybody doing this evening?
Make it. Thank you for coming in and joining us this evening, buddy.
Appreciate the invite.
And then our third guests are actually at a special location for this program tonight. So I can't wait to bring them up, to bring their knowledge, and everyone knows them, everyone loves them. From the morning show, we have Kurt and Marsha from See Me Traveling. How you doing, buddy? You can't hear us again?
No sound.
Okay, I'm going to pop them out for
Am
a
I
minute.
on?
Yeah.
I have no sound here. I don't know if anybody's talking or anything. Yeah, but I can't hear nobody.
You can't hear us.
I hear nothing.
Uh-oh. Well,
I still hear
Okay.
nothing.
all righty. Well, hopefully they
When
can
you
get
did your
there.
intro, a little thing came up and said, "Did I want to hear it?" And I said yes, and I ain't been able to hear nothing since then.
We hear you. So, well, hopefully we'll come back to you guys in a minute. I'm going to pop them out for a second. You can't hear us. All right. Well, let's go ahead. We're going to talk
My
to
speakers
Mike
are working.
and Chris. Hold on one second. We'll get them back here in a sec. Oh, here we go. Let me see. Can you hear us now, Kurt?
Mm-mm.
Broke it.
I answered
Yeah.
you.
Marsha, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I know
can't hear
Marsha
from his.
can or whatever. She can hear you.
Kurt, get in the car.
Okay, we'll go that way.
You're gonna have to
All
stop
right.
that one.
You gotta love technology. You gotta love
No, what
technology.
I'll do is exit out, go back in.
Okay. So y'all can still hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Awesome. All right. Technology is wonderful. So we're going to go. And for everyone in the chat, first thing I want you to do is to drop in the chat if you do play the slots or the table games, and what is your go-to game. And while we're at that, we'll go ahead and start with you, Mike. Mike, how long have you and then how long have you gambled on cruise ships?
I've been gambling in casinos for probably 15, 20 years. And then the cruise ships, pretty much day one, did a little bit here and there on the very first cruise. And then it's just gotten more here lately to try to earn some perks and free cruises and stuff. I figured while I'm on there, I might as well put my money towards something.
Nice. And okay, well, we'll get back to some of my other questions. I don't want to jump ahead of myself. How about you, Chris? How long have you been
Yeah, we hear them now.
in the slots and all that and all that? Did you let me ask you
Somebody
this way.
talking or something
gamble
happened?
in casinos before you did the cruise ship?
Oh yeah, I've been gambling for probably about 25 years. Primarily, I was always just a blackjack player and never really messed with
Just
slots
touch
too
it,
much.
the word live.
But never wanted to take a
Can they
cruise. Had
hear
no
us?
desire to take a cruise, and got invited on one by a friend of mine back in February of 2023. It was the first
How
cruise
come
I
it
ever
worked?
took.
And then when he switches
And
people,
I actually
it
did
takes one of us out.
I actually did a status match to get on my first cruise, and I've been basically gambling exclusively on cruise ships for the most part since then. And I primarily play slots on the cruises.
Right. Let me see if they can hear
Here,
us.
muffled. Is it because yours is on?
Can you hear us, Kurt?
Okay. Mine's on the finger. I'm just saying because yours is on.
Okay, we'll come back to him. So on the different cruise lines, do you guys have a go-to slot or table that you guys go to? Let's start with you, Mike. Do you have a go-to?
Well, I'm always addicted to the firecracker games. And on the last ABC cruise, I found a new one, but I haven't been able to find it in the casino, but I really enjoyed that one. but mainly the firecracker game. I still get stuck on it every time I go to a casino.
Okay. Cool.
Now,
Hold
Can
on a
they
sec.
hear us?
Uh,
Say yes or
hold
no,
on a second.
somebody.
Yes.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
So the
Now we hear you.
firecracker is the one that I get on almost every time I go to the casino too, thanks to you, Mike.
So
Yeah, that firecracker. That's
Marsha,
always a go-to. For us. It's not called that. What's the name of it? Bow something, ain't it? There's a
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. What
bow something.
Yep.
So Kurt Marsha.
That's a go-to. And anyway, I didn't know what subject y'all are talking about right now when it comes to it, or is it just Mike talking about his?
So I wanted to ask you guys, did you guys, Kurt Marsha, did you
See,
gamble in
nothing.
casinos?
Heard everything. Now nothing.
Can you hear us?
That's weird.
Okay. Weird. I don't know what's going on.
I hear Mike fine.
Can you hear Bruce, Mike?
Yeah.
That is so weird.
I don't understand what's. There's
Okay.
nothing here for me to do or touch. It says
So
it's just
Mike,
in the phone.
ask them if they can hear you. They can hear you and Chris, but they
They
can't
can hear me and Chris, but they can't hear you for some reason.
No, I ain't heard Chris any.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
I hear Chris.
I
Yeah,
just can't hear. We can't hear Bruce.
we can't hear Bruce.
Okay, well, maybe we'll play a little fun here, and Mike, I'll ask you to relay my question to Kurt Marsh if they can't hear me. My question is, did they play in the casinos before on the cruise ships?
He wants to know if you played in the casinos before the cruise ships, or whether the cruise ships were first, or vice versa.
Cruise ships were first for us.
Oh.
No?
No, we played some, but we did not know anything that we were doing. We had no idea how to bet anything, and then we got into roulette before we went. Yeah, we played roulette.
Yeah, we were playing roulette before we got on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
And
But nothing serious. Marsha's the only one that was a gambler between us. She had played cards and what do you call them? The tournaments.
Texas Hold'em tournaments. I used to play in those a lot.
Yeah.
I probably couldn't play it now if you paid me to. So.
That's my preferred game, but just on the ship, you don't earn anything, so it's just not worth playing.
Right.
Well, and I didn't realize how many points you get on a ship compared on the slots compared to on the tables. You really do get a lot more on the slots.
I'm just going to say, one of y'all out there, really let us know. You really need to start playing slots. I can't tell you who it was, but somebody did. It might have been Mike Gormley. He kept bragging about it, and he said, "There's where you can get your free rooms." It might have been him. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Kurt and Marsha, you guys are on a special location right now. Where are you guys right now?
He wants to know where y'all are at right now.
We are sitting in the car. We are in Danville, Virginia, at Caesars, Virginia. That's what it's the name of it. Hold on, I'll show. It's an old. This is an old textile mill. They got 3 big old stacks behind here, and that's they got a restaurant in there called 3 Stacks, burger place. But it's the only Gordon Ramsay restaurant in the state of Virginia is here. I don't know anything much. We get offers for stay, like Sunday night through Wednesday night. We get free ones so far, 2 nights. But comp wise, and I'm platinum. Marsha's platinum here. I'm only about 2,000 away from being diamond. So in point or tier points wise, but it's a nice. It's nice. This is actually pretty dead. Police station sits right back in here. It's like really close to here. They built them a brand new one. Let me get back in here with Marcia. We sit in the car with you.
So Kurt,
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend you go there and you find yourself a host, or get on the internet and find yourself a host, because I can guarantee if you do want to go down there for a weekend, you can get a room on the weekend. Because I have the same offers at Hard Rock and several other ones in Atlantic City, and it's just a matter of calling the host and they get you in there, no problem.
I don't know what it is. I've tried getting a host on the ship or anything, and I don't know. I go and speak to them always, and that's as much as I've had.
Well, the ones in the casinos are a little different. They have ones that actually will that are assigned to people, not just the ones that's standing up at the counter or whatever. These are ones that are actually your private hosts that if you want any kind of perks from them, they'll call you up and say, hey, this is going on this weekend. If you want to come down and we can get you a room, or vice versa.
I kind of know what they are. We've never been offered any, we've not at all. But I never thought about getting one here. I figured it took bigger money for that.
I don't gamble that much at Hard Rock, and I get them. Like, I was able to find one, and then I was able to search the internet and find one, because the original one I had, she no longer works there. So then I tried to go on a weekend, and if you go on the website and try to book it, they won't let me have a room, because based off my play, I don't comp for that. But if you get a hold of the host, they'll do whatever they can to get you in there.
Oh,
If you're that, if you're that close to Diamond, you should be able to have access to a host.
Yeah, it's either 2,000 or 2,300. I know. I just checked it today. First time I've really looked at it.
When you go in tonight, go up to the rewards desk and just ask them if there's a host on duty that you can talk to, and just introduce yourself.
It really, I swear, every time I've ever asked to speak to one, it almost like, I swear, it's like they just, now I'm talking about on a cruise ship, they just kind of laugh you right off. And yeah.
They said now on the cruise ships, the ones that we talked to the last 2 times said that it's all based on your play and your points and stuff. It's not like it used to be where they would, you could talk to somebody and get something, because Kurt was trying to get us a free specialty dining or something like that, and they said you don't have enough points yet.
I went through the same thing, and they wouldn't tell you how many points you needed. That was the kind of irritating thing. Is in the past, I've always been able to go, how close am I to a steakhouse? And they would tell me, or they would come and find me and tell me I've got one, but it doesn't. They've changed so many things. The experience with Carnival is a little bit different than it used to be.
It really is, because when we first started, before we actually played enough to get any of this stuff, we I've got an echo.
Oh, it's us. Oh, it's probably the phone. My fault. Phone too close. It's still open.
Before we got enough points to actually get stuff, they would tell us, if you get up to this, you can get this. Well, we never played enough at that time to get to anything. Now that we can get to stuff, we don't know how far to go to get to it.
Yeah, and that's the only thing. This one main thing I like about Royal. Royal has their sets, and so if you go on a cruise and you have 400 points, it says okay, and I think 400. I think you can even get a little bonus stuff. And then 500, 600, 700, all the way up. 1,200 gets you a free cruise on the next one. If you get 1,200 in one cruise, you automatically get a cruise for 2. And they give you a list that you can pick off of, and you can see it right before you even worry about it. So whether or not it's even worth trying to get to 1,200 points.
We may start trying some different cruises soon.
Well,
so
been looking at that. You're comped, and I have filled out so much for it, but I just can't figure out how to show my offer, and it has my name in. My name is never right with my offer.
Well,
email wise, it ain't.
I tried to get your comp the other day, but I'm kind of in a bad boat because I play already on all the cruise lines, and it's trying to target people who have never been on the cruise line. So if you haven't been on a certain cruise line, then you're okay. But
Okay.
if you've
We
already
might
been
be
on a
okay.
cruise line, you're not going to get the deals like you want to.
Okay.
Hey, Kurt, call them.
Yeah. Call them.
Just
Pick up the
call
phone
them and
and
say,
call 'em.
hey, here's what I got.
Mm-hmm.
How do I
Mhm.
get that information to you?
Uh-huh.
And you can text them and all kinds of stuff. So
Oh, okay.
I would just call them straight up, and they'll help you out.
Yeah. All I need to do is show my offers. I'm at that point. That's it. And I get offers already from them, and I
Yeah.
haven't even showed them anything. Yeah.
So everybody, I want to keep the conversation going, so I'm highlighting your comments and stuff, but I'm not going to really read them, so we can keep going. And
That's what I
Kurt
wanna
Marshall
hear.
can't hear me, so my clock is kind of relaying when we have a question for them. My question for all of you is: do you play more on cruise ships or more in land casinos? Mike, you can go first.
Okay. So he wants to know whether we play more in land casinos or on cruise ships. And I'm kind of 50-50 right now because Atlantic City's been sending me such good offers as far as rooms and stuff goes. I've been going up there and hitting Atlantic City on certain weekends. And I plan on going down there to see Kurt and Marshall one of these weekends and hitting that one down there. So I'm about 50-50.
Me and Marcia, I think, did almost about 6 weeks straight. We came to the land one, but we never spent more than we always had. We just never, we would take winnings and then we'd just leave. That's the hardest thing, is just leave. Just leave when you're up and you'll be fine. And then you can come back for another date. And then we sit there and we come home and we've been even. We've come home and either one of us has done good, which brought the other one back even, and stuff like that on the land ones. But I really enjoy the cruise ship casino wise so much better myself.
We stay in that a lot more when we're on a cruise.
I feel like I even do better on there, but another topic, and I want to make sure I say hi to Antoinette on here, and she's a great gambler herself. She's a big winner like Marsha was, on some ships. But anyway, I wanted to know if Bruce will ask a little bit, just a little more detail of what's your favorite bet. Like I know some of like mine right now is like a 10 cent and low. The lowest one, say $5. That's my favorite bet right now.
Well, that was.
I'm just saying, if Bruce will, it's getting in a little more, getting off. I get away from pennies, stuff like that, penny bets.
So that was one of my questions. Was on the slots. What's the do you have an average amount that you bet on each pole? Or, well, actually, these days you don't actually pull the slots, right? You push a button.
Yeah.
Pretty
but
much, yeah.
For each bet, what's the average, and what's the highest amount that you've ever bet on one spin?
I'm more of a death by 1,000 cuts type of person. I'm a minimum bet guy. I'll sit there for hours on 50 cents, $1.25 bet, something like that. And the most I've ever bet on one spin was totally by accident. And it was $25. And I did it about 4 or 5 times before I realized what was happening. I had hit one of the $1 denominations on the keypad without realizing it. And that one hurt. But I try to just stretch my play for as long as possible. That's kind of the formula I'm in right now, but I've certainly had long stretches of time where I've done like Kurt Marshall do, where I'm $5 a spin too. It just depends on how things are going bankroll wise.
And
Honestly, we just started. I just started. Kurt has always been like that. I just started pushing that up a little bit, but every once in a while I'll get scared and I'll go back down.
Now, I have just something to say. When you bet big, you'll win big. Marsha was betting $8 a spin when she hit that, and she sat down beside me, and I swear to y'all, it was the third slot machine she'd ever been on, and ever in her life. And I told her, I said, stop spinning low. I said, this one right here, I said, I want you to. It's 1 penny, but I want you to max bet because it was Buffalo triple power, and it tells you. I think everybody should read the rules. Try to read, especially the last 3 pages in the rules that's on the machine. You will see whether or not it says, hey, you got a better chance at something if you max bet. It'll tell you that.
yeah,
If you want to get a major or a grand or something like that. And I knew that philosophy before I started watching some YouTubers like Cruising on Comps and stuff like that. I kind of just knew to do that. Just and she'd be betting the max bet, and that's when she hit for almost $8 grand.
I ain't seen it again since.
Let me
I-
ask you this. When do you guys Cindy and I don't bet. We don't do it a whole lot. Every once in a while we'll spend, I think the max that we give ourselves is like 25 or $50. We've done it once or twice maybe.
Turn on subscription.
Do you guys go in knowing, okay, I'm gonna spend, whether it's have a budget of 300, 500, and then never put more into that, or is it easy for you to walk away when you have a big win, or do you have to put it all back in?
for my,
Chris, we'll start with you.
but he's asking whether or not we can take a big win and go home, or whether we put it back in, or whether we like how we take our winnings. So I myself, dependent upon the cruise, if I'm trying to hit a certain point level on a cruise or somewhere, then I'll run my money out. It all depends on whether I know I'm going to get a free cruise out of it the next time, or whether I'm going to try to get a free cruise. Like this last ABC cruise, I hadn't had anything.
6 or 7.
So I'll sit there and I'll put it in based off of, okay, this is just because I want to see what kind of deals I get on the next cruise. Now you also, I also have a budget that I'm going to work off of. Anybody that's gambling should definitely have a budget that they're going to work off of, or else they're going to put yourself in the poorhouse. Now, whether it's a budget for the day or budget for the whole cruise, that's another story. Because I'll go in there saying I'm going to play for $200 a day or whatever, and end up putting $600 or $700 in the first day, and I'm like, okay, well now I only have $500 for the rest of the cruise, so I got to kind of slow it down a little bit on the playing, but that normally doesn't happen.
What about you,
we
Chris?
have the same theory on cruise ships about going in and saying, okay, we're going to spend, here's your $200 a day, here's my $200 a day, we're going to play $200 a day until we get in there. If you don't stop,
It's not me.
every time you touch that, the lights go off.
Oh.
Until we get in there, and then it's like, oh, if I just had $100 more, or if I had $20 more, if I had $50 more, I could make this thing pop.
I want to tell you a good example. I played with both these guys right here. I watched one of them, and like myself, I won I think it was $700 one morning. And because I won it so fast, and he was sitting with me, Chris was sitting on second spin. I won so fast, you just feel like you didn't play none. And then you go, well, it won't hurt me. I came down here with 200. Let's go ahead and play another 200, And you just sit down there and you hit on your second spin. And, that's things like that you got to fight off too, to go like, oh, I just walked in there.
Or like winning $1,400, and before your wife can get to you, you've already spent $4 of it.
That happened very, 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 very recently. I'm glad. I know. Very, 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 very. I have hit 3 2025 hand pays here in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No, one was at Live It's called Live. It's in Petersburg, Virginia. Live Casino, Virginia. Bubba Smith. Is it Bubba Smith, a guy who used to play for Virginia Tech. He helped open it up.
Okay.
Casino. Yeah.
So my philosophy gambling on a cruise ship is completely different than how I gamble on land.
Yeah.
I take a set amount of money, and before I go on the cruise, I look at how much did I pay for the cruise, what perks am I getting, how much of those value, what's the value of those, how much would this cruise have cost me had I paid retail. That gives me my budget, and I do not want to exceed that because then this whole thing's stupid.
Right.
So I plan on losing my whole bankroll, but I know what I'm going to get out of it in the future. And a special thing with like Carnival is if you get an offer, most all of your marketing offers you get, you can book 3 times.
Right.
So if you get one for $500 free play with ocean view room and drinks all over the ship, you can book that on 3 different cruises. And so there's massive value in that offer itself, but I don't ever want to spend more money or lose more money in the casino than I actually would have paid for the cruise out of pocket or my next cruise out of pocket.
Right.
So that's kind of my approach is I know I'm going to lose, but I want to try to position myself in the casino's eyes as best as possible to maximize what I'm going to get in return out of what I'm putting through the machines.
Do y'all believe, real quick, I want to say, do y'all believe, I heard someone do this in a comment to Bill Armstrong, said, you know, you're paying for it. You say you're not paying for it, and then you get these free things. I argue, no. I know what I'm doing so far, and between just drinks, it just drinks in the casino or just drinks everywhere for 2 people, and it's been my latest one.
We've said
Okay, like I got 3 cruises coming up. And 3 of them, that's you know, almost $2,000. Well, for 2 people, it's $3,000. Yeah, for you know, total wise, if you for 2 people to drink on each one of those, almost 1,000 every time. So I'm coming out ahead so far.
To give you a perfect example, real quick, I've been on one Royal Caribbean cruise, and I had an unbelievable gambling trip. 5 days, I lost right at $1,400. I had 5,200 points, which for Royal Caribbean, that means I cycled $25,000 plus through the machines and only lost about $1,400.
$1,400.
That's
awesome.
I have a back-to-back on the Icon of the Seas booked for a total of less than $400. And just one of those cruises would have cost me well over $2,000 because I'm a solo cruiser.
Right.
And so that's a good idea. I mean, my first year of cruising on complimentary offers, Carnival, I won at the end of the year. I was positive $1,800, and they had comped every single one of my cruises. They had given me free drinks everywhere on the ship, and they'd given me, for my first 2 comp cruises, they gave me $1,000 of free play on top of that. So it's these are a big misnomer a lot of people don't understand about any complimentary offer dealing with a casino is it's not based on how much you lose. It's based on how much you're cycling through the machines, how many times you hit that button. And when I use the term of coin in, that is how many wagers you have placed in the machine, not how much money you physically took out of your pocket and put in. It's just all of your wagers added up. And if you do it in a strategic way, you can make out like a bandit. I mean, I am well ahead in value of what I received from cruises than I've ever lost combined. It ain't even in the same ballpark.
Well, and that's something Kurt and I have said is that the amount of money that we have paid for some of these cruises because of the deals and the drinks and the perks that they've given us compared to what we have spent, we're definitely ahead of the ball game, no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of in the same boat with Royal. Last year in August, I got a free Icon of the Seas as my free prime offer last year, and The year before, I lost about $2,000 over a course of a few cruises with the Royal to get my 2,500 points for the year. But the room for the Icon is a $3,600 room the week we went in the summer. So
Right.
I'm already $1,600 above what I paid for that room right there. When I was on that cruise, I hit a hand pay the first day, and I was winning throughout the entire cruise. I got 2,600 points that cruise, put me prime for this year, which gave me another free cruise for the year. Plus, I got the cruise for January on the Lure for free for getting that many points on one cruise. And on top of that, drinks for the entire year, that year plus the next year. And with Royal, your drinks in the casino is not just like as you're playing. I sat there at the bar with my son and his friend, and we sat there and drank for like 3 hours, just talking and everything else. And they don't care about that. They don't care that you're not sitting at the machine because, like he said, it's just a matter of how much you put through the machines eventually.
We've been
Well-
on some carnival that did that for us, but not always.
Yeah.
I'd like to, if I had advice for Bruce and Cindy, it would be take you to either both of you. I always think beginner's luck. You don't be scared of it more than anything. Go in there positive and stuff like that. That means a lot, but plan on losing that money. If you want to get these perks, plan on losing the money. There you go.
Take it like you would take an excursion.
That's exactly right. Just you got to get your mind on that.
There you go.
And
So that is, I have a
sorry.
two-part question. And Mike, you can relay this if Kurt Marshall can't hear me. My two-part question is, out of all the cruise lines that you guys have cruised, which cruise line that you've gambled, which cruise line seems to give the best perks, the best
look at your phone.
deals, and then what is the best deal or perk have you gotten?
Well, I can look right
I'll
here.
start with you, Chris.
So, and Kurt can bust my chops on this. The question is what's the casino line that gives us the best offers, and what's the best offer that we have gotten? So,
Ooh.
from a sheer deal perspective, it's Carnival. Carnival has treated me very well. I've only been on that one Royal cruise. I was very impressed with Royal, and I'm going to sell Royal more because I just like the transparency of their program better. And from a value perspective of what the room would have cost me versus what I'm paying for it, I think I get a better deal with Carnival. But having said that, the best deal I've gotten so far is I'm going to Alaska on the Carnival Spirit in September, and I paid $800. That was port fees, taxes, my responsibility. That's for a single cruiser. I get drinks everywhere on the ship. I have a balcony room, and I got $500 of free play and $200 of onboard credit for that cruise. So, and that
Wow.
cruise retail was well over $3,000 for a solo traveler.
Especially for a belt.
So, yes. And I had an offer with Royal to go to Alaska, but it was an interior, and it would only cost me $230 out of pocket, but no drinks everywhere on the ship. I'd get them in the casino, but not everywhere on the ship. No free play. And I think I would have gotten like $50 on onboard credit. And it was already gone before I had an opportunity to book it. And plus, it was going out of Vancouver and into Seward. And for me, with Carnival, it's Seattle to Seattle. So from a travel perspective, it's a lot cheaper. So that's the best offer that I've gotten by far. I will say, though, the close second is being on the Icon of the Seas for 2 straight weeks for less than $400 is a pretty dang good deal, too.
That
So,
is you sound like Mike above you getting them deals.
How
Yeah.
about you, Mike?
I'd say the best deal I've had is just it's gonna be Royal because I cruise Royal a lot more. And when I first went on Carnival, I wasn't gambling that much, so I was still getting offers like even 2, 3, 4 years later. So I will say that Royal Carnival does give you offers for a lot longer period of time than Royal does, but I don't. The amount of offers and the quality of offers that I've gotten from the ABC cruise from what I've spent, I don't think it's very good. Now, I don't know whether it's I got to wait a little while longer with Carnival, but I'm not even getting any free cruises. Only getting like $200 off, and I had 5,500 or actually close to 6,000 points before the end of the cruise.
That's weird.
Yeah, but so I'm stuck on Royal.
The good thing about ours is that because Kurt and I both play in a casino,
Yeah.
we both get deals. Sometimes he gets better deals, sometimes I get better deals. But we've taken couples with us to go with us on those deals. Like we're right now with his sister, we have 2 rooms booked. I've got a room, he's got a room. We both get free drinks. Both rooms get free drinks everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're nice rooms.
It's like
And we get
$4,000,
like
almost.
$500 on board credit for both rooms.
Something like
So when you start looking at that and you think about the fact that 2 rooms at the cost of what we got them and what we would have had to pay if we had just paid for this cruise for 2 rooms, it's incredible. And like I said, it's not always that way. We haven't always gotten free drinks everywhere, but the more we seem to be playing, the more they're throwing that at us.
And Chris called mine out. He told me they come looking for me and handed me one of those, and the host actually, and she handed me one of those, like the free cruise type of thing. Well, that was really going to be just drinks for one, wasn't it? And then Chris told me, he said, and I had already used that with Bruce can tell you, I used that one and then turn around. Chris said, just wait. They're going to be rolling them out. He told me what date, and they rolled out all these other ones like the 1st of May. And I swear I had out of 26 offers, I think 16 of them were drinks everywhere. And of course, some of them sound silly because they're just, let them pick the room or you pick your room or like 2 of them were to Australia and stuff like that. But, it still was drinks everywhere for 2 people.
Yeah.
And good money offer onboard credit or free play.
That is, in my opinion, of anything you can get from a cruise comp, the drinks everywhere on the ship, and I'm not a big drinker, but just soda in general. I mean, if you like to drink soda, it's $3 or $4 a pop if you're, buying it individually. And I like that, like Mike was saying about Royal, is you can't do this on Carnival, but with Royal, I can just walk up to the casino bar and go, hey, can I get 3 canned Cokes to take with me to my room? And they're like, here you go. No problem.
Yeah, that's nice.
And, but I like them milkshakes. That's my big thing with my drinks package is I eat up in milkshakes.
Yep.
Kurt's the coffees. He likes the specialty coffees.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make up for any money lost with his specialty coffees and get as much liquor as possible.
So that was my next question.
But it's nice to be able to go on there and not even.
Bruce.
That was my next question. It looks like at least sometimes, yes. Do you guys ever get deals or specials while you're in the casino from the casino host, or does it mainly happen after you get back home? Mike?
Royal is right there when you're there. Because you, like I said, there's a points chart right there telling you exactly what you can get as far as your rooms and stuff goes. He's asking like whether you've gotten any offers when you're actually sitting there in the casino for different things. Now I've never got any like free food or anything like that as far as like especially dining rooms, but the offers in the casino is kind of new for me as far as the cruise ship goes. So I'm still learning all the different things.
You've gotten free
meals. I got 2 free
specialty
meals, and then we got something else too. What was that? What was something to go to the spa? Yeah.
We always get the $50 to go to the spa.
Yeah,
To me, that one's where it's starting to take your money back.
Yeah.
So Royal doesn't really do a lot of on-board comps. They'll give you a bottle of wine, and a lot of people call it the bottle of shame because theoretically you've lost enough money to get the bottle of wine. On Carnival, I've always generally gotten steakhouse. Of course, most of the time I'm by myself, so it's only one. There's been a couple of occasions where they've given me two, and I was able to go, 2 nights in a row. On the Horizon, I think when I hit 8,000 or 9,000 points, they gave me, I think it was $80 to the dining establishment of my choice. And Mike and Ron and Ricky and a couple other people, Denise and Dwayne were at the barbecue place. So I took it in there and used it and made them pick up the tip. But I, took care of it. But I always get something on board wise, but I always caution people to not chase on board comps. It's just not worth it.
Oh,
It's not worth it to cycle
right.
$16,000 through the slot machine to get a $50 steak dinner. Just go buy the steak dinner. It's a whole lot cheaper.
And they just come to you. And like Mike Gormley, when we were on Glory, he had a $250 comped for the seafood shack. And
we all sat there at the table.
Everybody got to participate. My phone's going dead now.
I've done that where I've had a line of people behind me and I'm like, I can't order enough on this. So y'all, whatever you want, I'm getting it for you.
There you go. That's sweet. Yeah.
Awesome.
Somebody else did that on this last cruise.
I do have a couple
Chris. Okay, I thought so. I was trying to remember who did it. Just Chris did it for us.
You said that.
Yeah.
Bruce is asking another question.
Sorry.
I do.
Oh, you're fine.
I have a couple more questions, but I do want to mention something. It sounds like Kurt Marsh's phone might die, but I want to mention it while Marsh's on here. Everyone knows Ocean Travel, and we specialize in group cruise, but we do other things. And I think a lot of people know that Mike Clock has partnered up with us and is selling cruises and all sorts of travel through us. But starting in about a week, and we are excited about this, Marcia from See Me Traveling will also be on board as a travel advisor. We are very, very excited about that.
Yep.
Can one of you guys pass that along now so they know I said it?
So he's advertising you as welcome you on board as a travel advisor, Marcia.
Yay, something new.
So we are.
That was going to be one of my big announcements in the next couple of weeks. So
we are excited about that. Okay, here's one. When you guys were talking about points, also, do you think that the points on the cruise lines are fair or unfair? The point system.
I think they're fair. They pretty much fall in line in one way or another with what you would experience on a land-based casino. The biggest differences are, and I can only speak to Carnival and Royal, but with Royal, every cruise that you go on, your points for that cruise start at 0. However, you have a yearly running total that allows you to get into their casino status program, which the one that everybody kind of shoots for is at 2,500 points. Like Mike was speaking to earlier, you get Prime, which is free drinks in the casino, and you also get a free cruise. On Carnival, it's all independent. Every cruise is independent of the last cruise. They don't have any year-long loyalty or anything like that. So, for example, I think I ended up with about 12,000 points on this last cruise. That means nothing when I go on the next cruise other than the marketing offers that it generated for me that I'll get. But it's to me, it's fair. It's a system I'm familiar with coming from land-based casinos. But the points are different. I will say if you're a video poker player, I don't think they're very favorable, especially Royal. It's 1 point for every $15 that you cycle through the machine. But when it comes to slots, I think they're fair. Now, if you play table games, just being blunt, you're going to get hosed unless you really know the casino host well and they rate you well above what you were doing. You're going to get hosed.
Yeah, and also if you were changing your bets at a table game, you need to make sure that host is aware that you're changing your bets so he can re-rank you as far as what you're spending. Because without that,
That's
you're
right.
not going to get the right amount.
Yeah, I remember. You remember we'd change amounts.
Yeah.
You Marcia used to have to do that on roulette a lot.
Does that apply just to tables or also to
Nowadays, I
slots?
just play
What do you
slots.
mean?
No, table games is the only time that they have to actually rank you. They have to actually watch how much you're actually spending because at table there's no tracking. So a machine, you're putting your money in and it's all electronic. They can see exactly how much you're spending.
Stop.
At the table, they don't know how much you spend or how without watching you.
It's plus it's decisions per hour is part of the formula that's used.
Yeah.
And you just at a much slower pace on a table game than you are a slot machine. But you're also, if you're betting higher, you can generate the same amount of volume. But you're talking about sitting at a blackjack table and playing $100 a hand for 4 hours. And that's putting a lot of money at risk at a game that, you know, is especially on a cruise ship, is not favorable anymore with the way the payouts are. But like Mike said, on a slot machine and on video poker, every time you hit the button, it automatically tracks it. I mean, it's counting your points up right there in front of you on the screen as you're playing. But on a table game, it's kind of, you're just at the mercy of the pit boss.
Yep.
No,
Let's talk
Pardon me.
superstitions. Do any of you have superstitions when you're gambling? Is there anything you have to do? I know, like, my mom used to go play bingo, and some of these ladies are absolutely insane with the things that they do superstition wise when they're getting ready to play bingo. But with you guys in your slots or table, is there anything you do special? Do you have to have a special drink? Is there anything special that you do that you think gives you an advantage?
Go ahead, Chris.
Mike.
Okay. Well, he wants to know if we have any kind of superstitions or anything before we start playing. I don't really much other than I look at the machines and see if they've paid out big, like before I sit down. But I mean, a machine can hit at any time. And I watch the way the fireworks are as well, because if that
Can I
fireworks,
ask you one question about that?
Yep.
What do you how do you know how much a slot has paid out?
oh, you can see down the bottom of the screen like what the last printed voucher was for.
Usually.
That's the amount out on.
Oh,
And
okay.
so if that machine says it just printed a ticket for $800, I'm not sitting at the machine. But that's just me. Some other people are like, "Oh no, it's hidden," and they'll sit down. But for me, if it has a big amount on it, I'm not sitting at that machine. And the firecrackers, if it only has one single firecracker on those rows, I'm not sitting there.
That's my favorite.
No, you mean one empty one?
One empty one, yes.
That means it's not hidden.
I have put myself twice $500 in the machine, and it didn't hit a thing, and not one bonus whatsoever on $500. And it's just, if you watch those, for some reason, it likes to stick there for a long time because everybody thinks that thing's getting ready to hit. And
Yeah, I don't play those.
it's starting for me. If it's only up like 2 or 3, I'd rather start there than at the very top of it.
I like it empty. Generally, anything like that. I like that's just something I look for, but I don't always go by that. What was the Bruce original question there?
About superstitions, like you chew
Well,
your gum right now.
Yeah, like this gum, I'll spit my gum out before I start.
When we
Put
go
money
into
in.
Caesars, we have to go pee.
Yes, well, that. Anyway, there is things like that. There's another one.
The gray shorts.
No, I do now.
Oh, now he wears gray shorts.
Yeah, it used to be. Anyway. Well,
What
but
about you, Chris?
nothing bothers me that much about it. Not too much.
So This is an interesting question for me because my whole channel is kind of built around education of how slots work and all that kind of
Right.
stuff.
That's what I was getting ready to
So,
mention.
I will say that I do not believe in any of these things because none of these things are real. However, I do not in any way, shape, or form throw shade at anybody that has superstitions, because I also have superstitions, even though I know they don't matter.
Right.
Right.
I've seen people basically make love to a slot machine.
Oh.
I always say, I don't care what you do, be as animated as you want. It makes it fun. You're there for entertainment. Just don't break the spin button, slapping the spin button. That's
Be
the
a
only
slapper.
thing
A slapper.
is that. But to give you just a quick story to kind of feed on this, there was a group of YouTubers that go film themselves doing slots that came up with this idea of, let's show gamblers how gullible gamblers can be.
Right.
And let's put out a video that says, if you turn the volume all the way up on the slot machine, it increases the return to player by like 5%.
Winnability.
Absolutely not true. But it took off like wildfire. And everywhere you went, people were making videos. I turned the volume all the way up and I hit a bonus. And it's not even part of the same computer system. But gamblers are just by nature, you're gambling. So by nature, you're superstitious.
Yep.
Because you're going, I'm doing this to try to win a big jackpot or whatever. That's your mentality.
Yeah.
But
I'll be right back. I'm going to plug in the
crazy
car.
things.
Fun. That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, we are almost up to an hour. So I think I'm going to shut her down. I have a ton more questions, but we will have to do another session of this because this is very, very interesting. And so I, again, want to thank everybody for coming on tonight and sharing your expertise on gambling on a cruise ship. I do have one more question, and then we'll close her out. Sea days versus port days. Are the casinos open during port days? And do you gamble during port days? Or are you always getting off the ship for an excursion?
Most of the time, the casino is closed during port day. There are a few ports that are exception to that. For example, on the ABC cruise in Aruba, it opened at 2 p.m., I think. But for the most part, they're closed. And I mean, they'll open just like when you leave your home port, once you get out to sea. I think it's 12 miles.
Oh, Kristen froze.
For a second, you all look frozen. I thought it was me. Uh-oh. Chris, you froze. Now he's okay.
Oh, there you go.
You're back.
There you go.
You froze.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
You were muted for a second. You're
That's
still
still
muted.
muted.
There you are. Nope. You're still muted. Uh-oh.
Yeah, sometimes it was easier just to go out and go back in sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he does pop up. Here he's back.
MSC at their private island, you actually can play while you're on the private island. They don't close it. At least they didn't when I was going, previous
I'm fairly
cruises.
certain. I'm fairly certain Coca K was open the last time I went there too.
You there, Chris?
Still can't hear you.
All right. So what I do want to thank you all again for coming in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give each person an opportunity to talk about your channel, what you have going on, and we will, and then we're going to go ahead and close it out. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Well,
Yeah.
okay. I was going to put you on
There he
solo,
is.
but Mike, go ahead. What do you have going on, buddy?
I get on Start of the Seas in 11 days. So looking forward to that.
I can't hear him now.
Yeah, Start of the Seas, 11 days, and going to be doing some gambling there. But I'll be with my daughter, so won't be a whole lot. So we'll see what
So
happens.
now I can't hear
Looking
Mike
forward
back.
to
I
it.
can hear Bruce.
They had the
Chris went out. Came back in.
Broadway show, Back to the Future.
We can hear.
Mhm.
Nice. Marcia, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear you
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Wow, now you can't hear Mike. Oh my
Now I
goodness.
can't hear Mike, but I can hear you.
Thanks for inviting
us. Next person, Chris, what do you have going on with your channel, next cruise, all that good stuff?
First of all, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So my channel is Cruising on Comps. I have cruisingoncomps.com. I also have created an app called the Gamble Tracker. It's made specifically for gamblers and primarily toward cruise gambling. It's absolutely free. It's ad free. You can get it on my website. And believe it or not, I actually just wrote a book that I'm going to be releasing as an ebook sometime soon, specifically about how I've leveraged the Carnival Players Club to my advantage when it comes to cruising. That'll have all kinds of fun stuff. As far as cruises go, currently I've got Alaska in September, back to back on the Icon of the Seas in November. And Mike, you'll have to let me know how the Star of the Seas is because I'm strongly considering booking a week on it in August.
Okay.
And then I've got May of next year with Marcia and Kurt on the brand new Carnival Festival.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of cruises you got going on and everything. And everyone, make sure you do check out Mike at Clock Fans Adventures and also Chris with Cruising on Comps. And then we've got Kurt and Marcia. What do you guys have going on with your channel? I know you have a ton of cruises coming up, but what do you have going on? And also, Marcia, again, I want to welcome you and I'm very excited to work with you on the booking side of things, on the travel agency side. But what do you guys have going on?
So we're going to go to a family reunion this weekend. So that's part
Get
of
it off
travel.
of West Virginia. Yeah.
And I've got some education coming up in September, another set of education in August going on for my work. So that's a little bit of part of the travels because Kurt's going with me to both of those. So he'll be able to do some things there. But our big stuff is our cruises coming up. We've got some really good cruises coming up. And that's because of exactly what we were talking about tonight with the casino deals. We were able to book more than one room for a cruise and get great deals on both rooms.
And, I do believe, I don't know if he booked it yet, Chris, the Carnival Festival that is in May. Well, we're on the one for May the 23rd, a 6-night cruise. We just announced that.
Mhm.
So that was our biggest announcement.
Yeah.
We are looking at doing something else for this year, or we may have already done it, but we just ain't we ain't told it yet. So we got that going on.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you all. Oh, Will G says and me, so Will G must be joining.
And Will's on there. There's a lot of folks I'm learning is on there.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, a lot of fun folks.
Nice. Very cool. Well, again, everybody, I want to thank the panel for coming on and sharing all of your expertise. Yep, go ahead.
Bruce, are you going to gamble now?
Cindy and I would discuss it. To be honest with you, on one of our cruises, I do want to have some extra cash for that. I do want to. I'm not going to say how much, but I do want to have money set aside specifically for that amount. And if it's just spending one day for a few hours or whatever, I think we want to at least give it a shot, and we'll see what happens. If not,
Just treat it seriously.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, just treat it like entertainment. So, and I always tell people, some people like to go kiss a dolphin. I like to mash a button on a machine. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just the way
And
it
that's,
is.
what we may do is treat it as an excursion. And instead of getting an excursion at one of the ports, we'll take it to use in the casino. On a CD or whatever. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think we're at least gonna give it a shot. If nothing else, we'll see if we get some of those casino deals. We'll see. I don't know. So I think that we probably will, at least on one of the cruises, give it a shot. What I'm afraid of, and what's I don't want to get that bug. And then so I want to make sure that we're careful with it. We'll see. But with all the information you guys have given, I'm definitely very interested in it. Absolutely. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for coming on again. I greatly appreciate it. Hold on for a minute. Everyone in the chat, sorry we didn't really talk to you, but I did try to highlight all of your comments and everything. And hopefully, you if you had questions, they were answered. And we'll probably do this again because I have a ton more questions. We barely got through the questions I had. This was awesome. And I greatly appreciate you guys. And everyone,
Thank you.
we are going to get out of here now. We hope that you have a wonderful evening. And until next time, happy
Bye,
travels.
guys.
We'll see you out there. Maybe. Why isn't the plan? Well, we'll do it.